Good evening. As I think everyone knows, I'm a longtime resident of Tullahoma, but regrettably, that's not what brings me here today. I'm also blessed with the honor of serving as your district attorney, and I'm here in that capacity. On October 3rd of this year, last Monday, I was presented with a complaint regarding the residency of Ms. Allmacher. This complaint was signed by approximately 270 citizens of this city. A prior similar allegation was made related to her county commission run. At that time, Ms. Allmacher had a frivolous lawsuit filed against one of my assistant district attorneys, which I felt would be better that I get out of that for appearances so there was no appearance of impropriety on my part. However, Ms. Allmacher, when requested by the court, was unable to bring any factual legal basis to support that lawsuit, and it was thus dismissed about 2 months ago. So that conflict no longer exists, which means that I am now tasked with dealing with this new and separate complaint. This complaint deals with the fact that Ms. Allmacher, by operation of law, has not been an alderman since February of 2021.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to object at this point.
You'll have an opportunity to respond. Please go ahead.
Ms. Allmacher was duly elected by the citizens and the voters, which are non-citizens of Tullahoma in certain circumstances, to take office in August of 2020. That time, she resided at a property in Tullahoma, Coffee County, in Macon Manor. In February of 2021, she sold that property. Sold the property for $330,000. At that point, no other residents within the city limits of Tullahoma. In August of the same year, she purchased unapproved property for $270,000 on Lefford Mill Road. That is both in the Coffee County and city limits of Tullahoma. However, there is no residence on that property. By her own admission, by witness statements, she has been residing at a property on Blue Creek Road, which is in Franklin County and outside the city limits of Tullahoma, for approximately 20 months. Under the city charter, in order to run for either alderman or mayor of the city of Tullahoma, one must reside in the city limits. City charter also indicates that a alderman and mayor must continue to reside in the city limits for the full term
This is on the agenda and he's passed his 3 minutes.
I would ask for an extension, Your Honor. I think this.
We don't have that in our board rules.
I think it.
Point of order. This is not on the agenda and it's passed his 3 minutes.
Your comments are not in order. Please go ahead.
She resided at this property on Blue Creek Road for nearly 20 months of what was then a 3-year term as alderman. It has now been extended to 4 years. This has been brought to my attention pursuant to a formal complaint, as I indicated earlier. Pursuant to 2935-101, it falls upon the District Attorney General within the county of the city to bring a quo warranto action to remove a public official who is unrightfully holding office. Thus, it has now become my responsibility to deal with this issue. What I'm here today to ask is that Ms. Allmacher do what is required of her and step down. Every vote can be called into question for every item that you continue to take action on. That is not best for the city. It's not best for you. It is not best for anyone for that to continue to happen. If you do not take that road, I'll have no choice but to file the appropriate action to have you removed by court order. I do not wish that. There is Proverb 29 that says, wise man does not argue with a fool, because the fool only rages and laughs, and there's no peace but controversy. I want peace. I don't want controversy. I'm here asking and hoping that there's two wise people in this, and we can simply do what's right and move forward. I would ask that you do that within the next business day. If you do not, I will take the action that the law requires me to take in this. Please don't make me do that. Those are my comments. Thank you.
I should get
Alderman Almacher,
respond. Yes,
you
okay.
may, you may respond.
So, again, I reside in the city limits of Tullahoma. I am a resident for all intents and purposes by Tennessee Code Annotated 2-2-122. Principles for the determination of residence and the factors involved. The determination of whether a person is a resident is made in light of the residence of a person is that place in which the person's habitation is fixed and to which, whenever the person is absent, the person's definite intention to return. Okay, so a change of residence is generally made not only by the act of removal joined with the intent to remain in another place, and each individual can only have one resident. A person does not become a resident of a place solely by intending to make it the person's residence. There must be appropriate action consistent with intention. You said two things that were not, well, actually three things. The amount of my house is irrelevant and also not really your business to be sharing. But number two, the property that I bought also is not unimproved. And also, if you look at the tax records, it is improved. It had 2 barns on it, and I put a travel trailer on it. And yes, I know what you're about to say. A travel trailer is not a legal residence in the city of Tullahoma based on our code, except for the fact that that 20 acres is zoned agricultural. And there is a state law that actually says, Mr. Northcott, and you being the district attorney ought to have known this, that a municipality cannot interfere with agricultural property per Tennessee Code Annotated 6-54-126 from the year 2005. And the use of agricultural purposes can also mean a resident on that purposes. Therefore, the travel trailer code does not apply to agricultural purposes. I have a travel trailer. I have a residence. My driver's license says 1744 Ledford Mill Road, and I am a resident. So I suggest you go ahead and file whatever it is you need to file.
Ma'am, I'm not here to litigate this issue with you. We will litigate
Exactly.
in
You're not on the
courtroom.
agenda and your time is up. There is no need for a response.
I
I
don't-
have the opportunity to respond. He is out of order.
I don't,
You
I don't.
have responded.
You-
Thank you.
You have called me out, and
Thank you,
just
DA.
like you had a response,
You're out
I
of
get to
order.
have a response as well.
Point of order.
At this point, Mr. Northcott, I'm going to call for a short recess. I need to speak with our city attorney. Before we go further, I'd like for the board to remain at the dais for now until I speak with our attorney in private. Mr. Giffen, could you please join me outside?